having a great night. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm just doing a quick live to let you all know what's going on and maybe throw out some fun facts because I like doing that. Um, like I posted on my Facebook, I've been clean and sober for 5.5 years, which I'm very grateful for. It's definitely been a struggle. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like they say, recovery is not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot. It really, really does, and it's one of those things where um, I'll always be an addict, and I can't live in denial and be like, oh well, I'm never gonna do this again. Because when you set unrealistic expectations when it comes to your recovery, or just about anything in life, you know, bad things will happen. You know what I mean? And also, I would appreciate prayers. For tomorrow morning, I have to go into the dentist, and everybody knows that I do not like going to the dentist, but I'm going to have an extraction, and that's just one of those things. It's a natural consequence for my methamphetamine addiction, and I wasn't even addicted to it that long, like 5 years max, and it really messed my teeth up really bad. Not to mention, I took quite a few blows to my face. There was a couple of times when I actually passed out, from a standing position, fell forward, and my face smashed into the concrete. Now that happened twice. Been punched in the face before, so that didn't help. Yeah. So yeah, it's quite a mess. So prayers would be appreciated. I get anxiety, real bad. When it comes to the dentist. I was telling a friend today that it would be less stressful if I was giving birth, and I'm not even kidding. Yeah. So prayers for that, I greatly appreciate, and I know that going to the dentist is a common concern and fear for a lot of people. So if you're feeling that way too, and then you're not alone, most definitely. So yeah. So prayers, like I said, prayers for that. Okay, let's get to some fun facts here real quick. It's so weird how, and I'm not going to lie to y'all, I really never learned to swim, right? But at least not very well. But I have this weird fascination with deep water. I don't know why. But yeah. Like, there's this lake in Siberia, Russia. It's called Lake Baikal. It is 5,387 feet deep. That's for us who use the imperial system. For those of you who use the metric system, that equals 1,642 meters. Which is just insane. Absolutely insane. Lake Baikal is deeper than the Puget Sound. Let's see. Say it's the oldest freshwater lake in the world. Let's see. Yep. See, I don't like it when it's square miles. And I think that the deepest lake in the United States is Crater Lake, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, yeah, yep. I had to make sure I was telling you all the truth. Yeah, Crater Lake in Oregon. It's 1,943 feet deep, or 592 meters. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Okay, and wow. So Lake Tahoe is the 17th deepest lake in the world at 1,645 feet, or 501 meters. And for those of you who don't know the Puget Sound, it's a saltwater body of water here in the Pacific Northwest. It's accessible, obviously, if you're in Washington State. And let me see how deep it is. How deep is Puget? How deep is Puget Sound? Oh, at the maximum depth, it's only 928 feet. Yeah, so 928. Yeah. So compare that with Lake Baikal, which is over 5,000. Jeez, that's crazy. Let's see, and how deep is the Marianas Trench? Ugh. Yikes. The Mariana Trench is the deepest oceanic trench on Earth with a maximum depth of 36,037 feet, or 10,984 meters. So that's at the very bottom. The bottom is also known as Challenger Deep. That is crazy. Makes me cringe, but I also find it very, very fascinating. And then people want to know, how deep is the Marianas Trench in miles? I believe it's, 7 miles deep? Yeah, around 7 miles deep. Yup. And see, that's the funny thing, though, and I think, okay, so the planet Earth is between 70 and 75% water, right? And yes, of course, the Marianas Trench was discovered, and, like they say, it's 7 miles deep. And we have not explored, every single body of water on this planet, you know what I mean? So is it possible that there's something out there that's much deeper than that, somewhere in the ocean, somewhere? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, it'd be cool, but, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's see, what's this? Okay, let's see. Okay, and then we're going to go to, let's see here, deepest river in the world, and I think that's the Congo River at 900 feet deep, I think. No, I was wrong. Yeah. The Congo River, they're saying, the world's deepest recorded river with depths of up to 220 meters or 720 feet. I don't know why I thought it was 900, but yeah, it's 720 feet deep. So it's the deepest in the world. Let's see. La la la. Okay, so second deepest river in the world. See, I just love just doing random research about things. You know what I mean? Huh? Second river in Africa. Yes, he hasn't tell me anything. So, the Yangtze River is deepest point. The river reached a depth of approximately 720 feet. This depth makes the Congo River about 64 feet deeper than the second deepest river in the world, which is the Yangtze River in China. Okay. Okay, let's find out what the deepest river in the United States, because honestly, if I did know, I forgot. The deepest river is the Hudson River. At some points, it is 200 feet deep. Okay, what else can I look up? Okay, let's see. Commencement Bay. How deep is Commencement Bay? So Commencement Bay, it's accessible through Tacoma. Yeah. And of course, it's not going to tell me how deep it is, but it will tell me that it's 5 hours and 1 minute from Coeur d'Alene here. Like I'm going to get up now, grab Morgan. Hey, Morgan, let's go. Let's go for a 5-hour ride so I can show you Commencement Bay in downtown Tacoma. Let's do it. Right. Nope. Yeah, the Port of Tacoma. It's right next to it, obviously. Lots of traffic in and out of there. Okay, the Narrows Bridge. Hey, did you all know that the giant, the giant Pacific octopus lives underneath the Narrows Bridge in the water? Because there is a artificial reef there, the original Narrows Bridge, Galloping Gertie, the one that, collapsed and went underwater. I think that happened in the 40s or the 50s or something like that. Browns Point. Yeah, I've never been to Browns Point. Okay, the Commencement Bay. Depths in the main channel of the bay range from 42 to 185 meters. It doesn't mean anything to me. I use the imperial system, not the metric system. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't do that I wish I could have when we were in Tacoma, going to the Glass Museum. Dale Chihuly, he's very talented when it came to glass blowing. Okay, let's see. And just to make sure I'm giving you all accurate information, I'm going to look up the whole giant Pacific octopus thing. Giant squid, I don't care about that. Let's see. There. Ow. They're saying they weigh between 22 and 160 pounds. Geez, can you imagine, scuba diving or something and end up meeting an octopus that's 160 pounds and he's got 8 legs? Yeah. And I thought it was interesting. I think it's the squid that has a donut-shaped brain. So it's round, it's got a hole in the middle, and the esophagus goes up through that hole. So if it decides it's going to eat too much, swallowing could cause it brain damage. La, la, la. Okay. Okay, they live where in the world? Okay, yeah, so the giant Pacific octopus can be found all around the Pacific, from Korea and Japan to the coastlines of Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, see, it's been really rough dealing with the tooth pain and stuff. It's just, yeah. Yeah, but it's also one of those things, kind of have to accept it, for what it is and not live, let's see. Octopus are a major attraction for divers in Puget Sound, Washington, and are considered a center of abundance for the species. Okay, yeah, see? One of the Puget Sound's major attractions is a giant Pacific octopus, the largest of the octopus species, weighing in at up to 150 pounds, with an arm span up to 20 feet. Like I said, could you imagine coming face to face with one of those and it ripping off your mask and stuff? Yeah, that would not. Yeah, no, no, thank you. I could see that too. Them ripping your mask off and ripping off your oxygen tanks and taking them down to the bottom of the water. The seabed. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Oh man. But yeah, there's this thing called, this process called radical acceptance. Where it's like, evidently, you pretty much are like, well, hey, I did this, I did that, it's done and over with. Or even if it's not something that you did, something that somebody did to you, you have to come to terms with it, accept it, and then move on. That's the only way you can. Which, that is, great in theory. And don't get me wrong, it is possible. It just takes a lot of work. And, I kind of, I do have to accept the fact that I did damage myself a lot, with the drug abuse. And then, when the pain kicks in and stuff, I'm like, oh, woe is me. Well, no, it's not woe is me. It's, put on your big girl panties and get your teeth taken care of. I was addicted to drugs for, a few years. It happened. There's nothing I can do to change that. The only thing I can do is move forward, taking one day at a time, and do what I can to inspire others. And it's so bizarre, and I'm pretty sure this didn't have anything to do with me, but I almost feel like it did. Once I left the Kitsap or Key Peninsula or whatever and came back to my own hometown of Tacoma, I ended up hearing, about a bunch of people who were, in the Kitsap, Key Peninsula area that had, initially been on drugs real bad. They all got clean and sober. And I'm like, dang, I wonder if that's because of me, because I went literally nuts, when I was on drugs, just acting a fool, saying all kinds of crazy stuff, doing messed up things. It just makes me wonder if them, observing me making a complete horses behind of myself was inspiring enough for them to decide, hey, if I'm looking like that, I don't want to look like that anymore. I need to get clean and sober. I mean, in a way, I would like to think that I was, I helped with that process for them, but then on the flip side, I don't, because like I said, I was just off the chain. Or what's that word they use now? Unhinged. Like, for real. It was bad. Okay. Yeah, and let's talk about Joe Rogan's favorite animal on this planet. Can you guys guess what it is? Yeah, let's talk about bears. Biggest bear species. And it's so weird too. It's like nobody seems to know which bear is the biggest. Some say, just like right here, some are saying it's the polar bear, which, yeah, they are massive. But then you also have the Kodiak bear, the brown bear from Kodiak Island, Alaska. So, yeah, they're coastal. Yeah, they're coastal bears. They're on an island. And they're saying the ones that are coastal are bigger because of their diet as opposed to the interior bears, which don't necessarily have access to, like, the foods that are high in fat and high in calories. I mean, they do, but not to the extent of what the Kodiaks, are able to, consume. So that's, why they're bigger than the standard, interior brown, grizzly bear. Ooh, there's a bunch of different. They got the cave bear on here. That's funny. It's absolutely hilarious. You have Joe Rogan on his show, right? And he's talking to one of his guests, describing different bears and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, you ever heard of the short-faced bear?" And the dude's like, "Nah," and he's like, "Well, that's the bear that probably kept humans from coming across the Bering Strait, right?" He's like, think of a polar bear, but it's twice the size of a polar bear, and then it's got long arms, so it's like a cat. And just the way he described it, had this dude like, like terrified just by the description of this, animal that went extinct a while ago, you know what I mean? So it's just hilarious. And then you see a picture of, it's like a model of the cave bear. It's just like in the middle of this floor, right? And then there are these guys standing around it for scale, obviously, so they could take a pretty gnarly picture. And Joe is like, "Look at the size of that thing." Of course, he drops a bunch of F-bombs, which for some reason makes it funnier, which is, it is what it is. Yeah, like I said, I really do like him, and I know I catch heat from some people, like, how can you be a Christian and like Joe Rogan? I don't know, I don't watch him all the time, but a lot of the stuff that he talks about, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a highly intelligent person, and yeah. Is Kodiak bear bigger than grizzly? They're sometimes called grizzlies, but due to superficial physical similarities with grizzly bears, Ursus arctos horribilis. Yeah. However, Kodiak bears are larger than grizzly bears. Yep, and then you have, if you want to be as pretentious as possible, you can talk about Ursus arctos maritimus. That's a polar bear. And what I thought was a trip was the polar bears and the grizzly bears were interbreeding with each other. And last I heard, there was a decent, population of those hybrid bears. And, in the wild, they're doing this on their own. So, yeah, it's kind of fascinating yet terrifying at the same time. Because, in theory, that's the kind of bear that can survive just about anything. With a polar bear, they clearly have to be in the right environment to thrive. They're not gonna, thrive, like in California. You know what I mean? But if you have something that has the worst attributes of both species, it could pretty much go anywhere it wants to. In theory. Let's see what they're saying about cave bears. Like I said, I like to do research. It takes my mind off of, the dentist appointment tomorrow. Oh yeah, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. It's just, it's just me and a bunch of randomness, and me giving reviews on stuff, and this and that, and saying things that, that people think, oh, hey, you're out of line for saying that. Well, I don't think so. I see myself as being a nice, decent human being. I feel like I use a lot of tact, and I exercise a lot of self-control. I know people are like, oh, you have no filter. Yes, I do. Because clearly, anybody that's going to say that did not know me back when I was a raging, psychotic meth addict, like for real. I'm just telling it like it is, or at least, my version of how it is, because we all, see the world through a filter of our own experiences, yes? So, yeah, it's like, this channel is therapeutic for me in a way, but I also, want to, entertain people. Kind of, I guess, I don't know. It's fun to do reviews, especially when they're really positive ones, when I have a really, positive experience, like with the Mexican restaurant over on Division in Spokane. What's the name? Tacos El Sol? Yeah, they were really good. I love carne asada tacos, and theirs were delicious. And And staff was very friendly. That's a big thing, you know. Customer service is extremely important. There's a picture I would love to show you guys, but I'm not tech savvy enough to put this picture up on the screen so you can see it. But it's the picture I was telling you all about, where the short-faced bear statue is standing on its hind legs, looking all menacing and imposing, and you have like 4 dudes standing, you know, 2 on one side, 2 on the other for scale, and the bear is more than twice. Let's see. Yeah, more than twice their height on its hind legs. How crazy is that? But yeah, it's like, okay, so this thing, when it's on all fours, it's like 6 feet tall. Maybe taller. And like Joe Rogan said to the other dude, he's like, can you imagine that thing like coming at you real fast? No, I try not to imagine stuff like that. Yeah, let's see. Oh wow, did you know that Mandarin Chinese is the most spoken language in the world with over 1.1 billion speakers? See, it's weird though. I would have automatically assumed it was English, but you know, that's just me not knowing what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. 1.1 billion people speak Mandarin Chinese. That's cool. The language I wanted to learn really bad there for a while was Russian, but I gave up on that. Not that I really practice much or anything, but I don't want to do that now. Okay, what do they say about English? English, the dominant language of international business and global communication, with about 5.1% of the world's population speaking it. And see, you know, judgmental, just, you know, disrespectful people are quick to make fun of somebody who speaks broken English. But I say, and a lot of people say, well, at least they're able to speak another language. I can't do that. I used to speak, like, you know, a tiny bit of Spanish, but that's because, you know, that first man I was married to is Mexican. Okay, now they're saying that English is number one. See, this is weird. Hate it when statistics don't line up with each other, or don't align with each other. It's kind of confusing. Alright. Allergies are bad. I'm trying to think of something else here I can look up and tell you all about. I'm gonna look up Alan Richardson. Yeah, he's just, you know, very, very nice to look at. He's very good looking. He's 41 years old. But I was looking at, you know, watching a preview of this movie that he was in, or TV show or whatever it was, years ago, and he was like in his 20s and stuff, and he really wasn't that cute. He looked kind of goofy. But as a 41-year-old that's super stacked, and oh man, that dude is hot. Yeah. Was it? What was it? Blue Mountain State. Came out in 2016. I was just looking at clips of it, and it just looked ridiculous. Didn't even look funny. It's like, wow, that's the same guy who plays Jack Reacher? I didn't believe it at all. Oh, which reminds me, I did buy a Jack Reacher book. Forgot the name of it, and I probably won't read it. I hope I will, but, you know, I don't know. Ordinary Angels? Was that the one that... Let's see. if that's the one that I was... Okay, I don't know. Alright, well, okay, I'm going to get off of here for now. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Yeah. And thank you for those of you who have stuck by me, even though, yes, I know I'm obnoxious and I whine like a child sometimes, but yeah, none of us are perfect. We all have things we're working on. We all have things we're trying to heal from. And I would much rather let people know how I'm doing and how I'm feeling, not just to inspire others, but to inspire myself to do better. And it helps to not bottle things up. Secrets keep you sick. If you're bottling stuff up, it's only a matter of time before you'll self-destruct. And I really don't want to do that. I want people to know, you know, about my struggles, about my victories, and life isn't easy. But, you know, take one day at a time. Take 1 minute at a time if you have to. That's what I had to do. It's like, you know, let me just look at this clock and watch the time pass. See, it's still going. Time isn't standing still. It's still moving. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you all for still tuning in. I have to go. Talk to you all another time. God bless you all. Bye.